Well, that's...
This is awkward, isn't it?
We don't want to do this. Look at us.
Professional.
And today on the BBC...
News just in, Jay stinks. A bit higher than me. This is so weird. Okay, so yeah, we're going to try and do a slightly different video. Jay and I recently went to the Nürburgring.
Yeah, and because both of us have the attention of gnats, we can't sit through track footage on anyone else's film, so we thought we'd try and make ours a bit more interesting.
Yeah, and there's also another slight issue in that in the run-up to the event, we were both kind of a little bit fed up and miserable.
I mean, to be fair, by the Thursday night that we got there, I was ready to go home. I didn't even finish my food.
No, I mean, that is a real big thing. News just in, Jay didn't finish his pizza.
Yeah, and that is yeah, that's a big deal.
Pizza mit pommes.
Yeah, and I didn't
finish it.
I was not feeling it.
So yeah, the reason for that was it'd been quite a challenge getting my car ready in the lead up to the event, but the actual biggest thing was that for the first time in our lives, we've been to the Nürburgring before, first time in our lives we decided that we were going to tow our cars over there, and that, to be frank, absolutely sucks.
And we picked a day where there was just traffic after traffic.
Yeah, it was really bad. We were heading over there for a track day by Circuit Days. As I say, first time towing. We've been a few times before, and the adventure over there is a big part of what makes it so special for me. Sort of, especially having people in the car with you, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, we're both on our own in the cars.
Both towing and both on our own. And it just took, what, by the end of it, 14 hours or something?
Like that. I think we had 3 hours of delays on the journey, and I was genuinely done.
It was a bit much. Yeah, we had the vlog camera with us, and both of us. Oh, and also, when we arrived there, we saw the weather forecast and it looked dreadful for the following day. So we've been building this up since we booked it over New Year's. We were both drunk around at mine having New Year's.
It seemed like a good idea. It was only £500 for a track day.
Exactly. Then how much was the train when you're towing?
£500.
Yeah, exactly. And how much was the hotel?
£500.
And how much was the fuel? I
spent £840 in 3 days. It's the most expensive day out I've ever had.
I think, and I can say the same as well. And I was, you know, once we started seeing it mount up like that, we were absolutely horrified. And then because you spent so much, you're so invested in it, you're like, but what if it's a terrible day? And then we got the news that the weather was going to be terrible.
Rain and a mist.
Yeah. So we were a little bit like, F this, the vlog camera went in the glove box of the car, and luckily we did decide to take GoPros with us, and we did decide because it's always worth putting GoPros in a car just in case something interesting happens.
Yeah.
It is that thing. And as I say, it was a track day that we did, not tourist days, because it's a whole other story. But if you're from the UK, you don't do tourist days. It's lots of people have heard this before from people, but we are part of a group of people that have experienced the very worst of what can happen to somebody from the UK if they drive a tourist day and it goes wrong. And it's so bad that we can't actually legally talk about it, or it's risky for us to talk about it online. But yeah, rest assured, if you're from the UK, you shouldn't even think about doing tourist days, in my opinion. It's just
I'd never do them again.
The risk is too high, and
the £500 off the track day is worth every single penny, not to have third-party liability pointing at you.
I bet, then it's the most expensive day you've ever done in your life. But
it wouldn't have been that much cheaper on tourist days.
It wouldn't have, no.
You know?
And that's we used to go quite a bit, and it was always a lot more casual, and we were there for a lot longer because we used to buy per lap. And the laps were a lot cheaper than they are now.
Yeah, we were like €12 a lap when we first started getting
it. And you didn't feel pushed into getting your value for money out of a day because you just did as many laps.
No, I was saying to my wife when we got home, we used to be able to go for a weekend for about 500 quid in an M3. You know.
Exactly, yeah. And then, like, you went a couple of times in your E36 and it broke down, but it didn't really matter because we still had
a day out.
Good journey there, so a good time with all of our friends when we were there. So yeah. Things are slightly different, and it all sort of stems from towing, I guess, is probably...
Yeah, trying to do it as properly as we could, I guess.
Yeah.
And It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
And that's why we've done that's why I've done no track days this year, because I've been paying for this.
Yeah.
It's written off like the whole year.
Yeah. And it has financially, you know, hurt me pretty substantially as well, in terms of like this imaginary budget that I have for spending money on cars and development of products and stuff like that. This was too much. It's too much. I'm not doing it again. I'll put it straight out there. I'm not towing a car over there like that and spending that amount of money for one day.
Maybe give me 5 years.
I think I'd send Jay. He'd probably be happy to tow my car over there.
As long as it's not my money, I'll do anything. Yeah.
So maybe we will still do it again, but yeah, in a slightly different way. So yeah, we've got some footage. That was a really long intro. Sorry if you've made it this far. Thumbs up.
It's only 5 minutes 40.
So yeah, we've got some GoPro footage. The weather actually got much better. The weather forecast said terrible, but then actually it turned out that after kind of 11 o'clock, was it?
Yeah, we had a few wet laps in the morning, and then it was absolutely perfect, to be fair.
Yeah, so we did roll some GoPro footage, and some of it I think is mildly interesting for you. So we're going to sort of play this on a laptop that we've got just in front of us here, and
commentate.
Yeah, because track stuff, as Jay said, it doesn't generally go down very well on our channel, and I totally understand, because if I'm sitting at home after a hard day at work, that amount of row going on continuously can be a little bit much for your ears.
I would say it's like watching Formula E.
No, but with good noises. Your car sounds good on this as well. You haven't heard it, but it sounds pretty good. Yeah, really good. So yeah, we're going to roll this footage and stick with us. If not, then fast forward probably out there about 5 minutes, where you can see the end of the video and give us a big thumbs up.
If it doesn't work, we won't do it again.
Let's see whether we've got audio on this first. Yes.
I can hear it.
So, there we are, one bit of external footage rolling into Apex. Great place to stay, but we were a little bit late, weren't we?
Yeah, didn't realise they shut at 6.
No, we didn't. So yeah, rolling on to the entrance. And as you may see from here, it looks like it's quite sunny. I've basically put all this footage together kind of in no real order at all. I initially started trying to make a little story of a lap where we'd flip cameras, but it didn't work out at all. So continuity, not so much. But yeah, fun. I like this camera view.
It's Gran Turismo view, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And it's the eVenturi airbox view as well.
It does sound well.
It sounds very strong. And the GoPro did alright, to be fair, picking it up.
Did you?
But yeah, I don't really know where I'm going around the Nürburgring.
Well, you know which way the corners go.
Yeah, I can do that.
We're in no way professionals.
Yeah.
We know which way the corners go.
Yeah, and going fast enough to find the bumps in my extremely low car. I was personally really, really happy with how well the car handled such a bumpy track at speed.
I mean, it doesn't look terrible in this view.
No. I mean, it's not fast.
Yeah, I'm sure the car is.
The car is definitely fast.
Yeah, because you're not exactly, foot to the floor, as I'm sure all the comments will say.
Yeah, what you doing lifting there? Yeah. Well, here's the biggest driver excuse for me: the power steering that we've been fighting for 3 track days before this event. Yeah, failed.
What's me?
It's Jay.
There we go. Look at the speed difference of 2.8.
No, I think this rinses. It goes really well, and.
There's you.
See ya.
I was about a gear down here, like I'd already let 2 cars pass before you came past.
And yeah, you'll see Jay absolutely flying in some of the later footage here. But yeah, I think this is the fastest I've ever been around here, and I know you guys will call me a complete. This is manly.
I don't know. I don't think I had the balls to top my foot to the floor.
Wet. No, it's slightly wet though.
Yeah, but. I remember in old E36 I went through there to the mat, and it was more exciting than that.
Well, it feels like it.
It does, to be fair, yeah. And always there I had Nigel Pinder's crash in my mind. I don't know if anyone follows the Pinder wagon, but he spun it there into the barrier, and I cannot afford to...
Was that a clutch kick?
It might have been, it was a bit wet. I cannot afford to hit the wall there.
Exhausting. Sounds well at this end as well.
It does, yeah. Nice and quiet. What's that coming past you?
Fast car. M4 of some kind, but it's probably completely standard.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It's just got a wing on it.
Yeah. No, they are. That is a quick car, and yeah, this is my very unmanly attempt at Vauxhall.
No, you backed off the hill, didn't you?
Yeah, one of the probably 2 corners I know the name of at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, we're not very good either because they're all in German.
Yeah, flip and flaffen.
Yeah. Well, no, this is Adenauer Forst.
Is it?
Yeah, this bit
He
is.
knows more than me.
I've got a lovely old gif of me drifting that on my first ever go in an old 325. It's probably so bad quality you don't want to see it.
And actually, that's a good point. There's going to be a bit of footage rolling in a minute, hopefully. This one.
Ah, man, no.
Timing? No, not this one.
No.
This is cool. Watch this.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted a photo of me doing a jump.
Yeah.
This is where you do a jump.
Photo here.
Yeah.
This is the one. Right, so.
This is my favourite part of track. That you just, it's just, you know, you keep your foot in as much as you dare and you just let the car bounce left and right.
And that corner just there is where I had my first ever experience of the Nürburgring in the passenger seat of Jay's E36, and he hit the curb so hard we were on 2 wheels.
Well, it felt like it.
And I was like, this is the shit I need to do this.
I need an M3.
And that was when I went and bought my E46 M3, which ended up doing some ring days and then becoming the V10 M3 later on in life.
Yeah.
So very kindly given this footage by, I'll put the name on the screen. It's from it's a Garmin track model thing or something. But yeah, awesome bit of footage. It's not like super high quality, but it's just great to see the car move from the outside. And it's an E92 M3 with some bits done to it. So it's really interesting to see how the lightweight E30 sort of compares to it and how much I back out.
Yeah, apparently according to, I think it was Derek Bell on the in-car Porsche 962, that's the most important corner on the track.
This one?
Yeah, because you lose so much speed throughout the whole of this next uphill section.
Yeah, and I should say that I don't play computer games or anything like that. I really wish I did. I even thought about getting a rig to see whether I could sort of re-familiarise myself a little bit with the track here, because yeah, this is where it gets
I
terrible.
used the excuse of that to buy a PS5 with Gran Turismo, because I needed one to have a quick lap.
Yes.
Oh, fire!
Fire! Yeah, the wheels lifted off the ground then.
Did they?
Yeah,
On the straight?
It went whoom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my awesome suspension.
And also, I'll add, I was very glad that I added some guard before this experience.
God, yeah. Well, if we stop talking enough, maybe for a second, you might hear how much Jay's car's hitting the ground. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, the sun guard is low, to be fair.
And so, my car was hitting the ground as well.
Well,
I didn't realise how
you
bad.
walked through the sun.
Which you'll see later on.
Yeah.
I know that one's miss.
Yeah, it's nice real low though. You'll probably hear mine give it a tickle as we go up the hill.
And I was quite surprised how quick this is up there as well.
Yeah.
That is power to weight. It's really good, goes really well. Any passengers?
He was a friendly guy.
He was, wasn't he?
His name was Anthony, Dutch guy.
Yeah. That's quick.
That's where it hit the floor.
That was a good hit there. So yeah, Jay fitted a SUM card moments before going to the Nürburgring.
Well, I'd been there before and seen an E30 take its sump out on the carousel.
And I'd lost my oil in Bitten.
And you had.
Nearly twice.
You definitely did once.
Yeah.
You spun the sump plug out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let the car just bounce. Just incredible that bit.
I love that section so much, but yeah. I know I can go so much faster, but the fear. Yeah, and this now is something you do not get to do on tourist days as well.
No.
Is full lap down the straight, which is so bumpy. I think they've improved it a bit, haven't they? Since
yeah, I mean,
it wasn't back in the
wasn't that bumpy in my car.
good noises though.
What did we work out? Yours topped out at
167.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
I think my gearing was 132 or 134, and it would do the limiter down the straight.
Looks quite fast there, but he's turning in.
Going in fifth.
Yeah.
You've got 2 more gears, haven't you?
One more.
Oh.
And then we've got Dave's amazing footage here coming up.
I'd say I had a problem that I'd never had before anywhere, because of how long you foot flat to the floor.
Yeah.
Like it must be like a minute of the lap, especially in my car. The exhaust was melting the paint off the floor under my feet.
Way.
Yeah, never experienced this before, but you know, standard M52, nothing done to it, and it's got a 7.2 rev limit, which it shouldn't really have, and it just took it,
and
you know, to the mat.
Yours was so consistently good, wasn't it, as well? So yeah, that's it basically. We didn't want to overwhelm you with too much track footage, and I'm probably sure there'll be people going, "Stop talking, let us hear it."
Wow.
So I could put it up separately, I suppose.
You could put a bit more in now or something and see if people get bored. But
yeah, now we're going to flip back to the workshop. Hopefully that wasn't too boring, listening to the two old men waffle about wobbling around the Nürburgring.
It's not like it was a professional race, was it?
But the problem is, the internet expects you to be able to drive like a lap record from Porsche. That's
we're world champs.
And we actually quite enjoy living nowadays as well. As you get older, you definitely have a little bit more self-preservation in the back of your head when you do anything like that. But yeah, anyway, E30 is now on the ramps, and as I expected from a little tickled.
Yours. I feared some guard. I was ready.
You did, and you hit it a lot as well.
I did, yeah.
So I hit my sump guard as well, but my sump guard is my sump.
Brilliant.
It's worn that down a lot more than I expected, and I did feel it tickle, but I obviously didn't think it was doing that. So
You're lucky you didn't do it again.
To be fair,
it's got a good thin bit there.
Yeah. It is quite reminiscent of the old Witten days, isn't it?
But that's an exposed thing that it spun out, didn't it?
Yeah. This is a superior one, but so under tray's coming off, sump's coming off. We're going to have a look at shortening the pickup in here, see whether we can gain some space in much the same way that we did here. I mean, this is not something I've talked about in many years, so you might not be aware how much we modified this. Craig and I modified this down at Dynatalk to get us some extra clearance, and it's also got a baffle kit in it, and we did the manual dipstick. So all that I really need to do, hopefully, is make this about the same clearance as this. So fingers crossed that's going to work. We've got some other stuff to do. We've just been and measured an E92 M3 steering rack next door. Unfortunately a right-hand drive one, but I wouldn't say we're optimistic about being able to fit the E92 M3 rack.
Well, something's got to go.
Because it's massive, the extension off it's massive off the pinion, but I think I'm going to risk it. I'm going to try and order a left-hand drive rack. I think we've probably got the pump in our spares.
Well, I know we're on the video, but is there a reason not to just put a purple tag E36 rack on?
That's what everyone says, but it doesn't clear the headers.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so
that's why we're not doing that.
Lots of recommendations for why don't you just do this, because that's what I've done to my E30, but most of those cars are running straight sixes. So the width of the headers, manifolds on this engine, it's really, really wide, and I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to have to cut a single runner. I don't want to have to do anything like that, because they're kind of a work of art and perfect as they are. So I'm just going to hope that we can fit left-hand drive E92 M3 rack, or at least muddle our way through it as we normally do.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks very much for watching. As I say, these track videos don't generally tend to do very well, so hopefully you found this one a little bit more interesting.
And we had fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters. We weren't going to film anything at all, so yeah, at least there was an episode.
It nearly wasn't on Thursday night.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting us by buying through the Driftworks shop, driftworks.com. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.